This is SSSniperwolf, the millionaire YouTuber who destroyed her reputation from content theft to personal legal disputes. This is a story of Sniperwolf's tragic downfall. But in order to understand her chaotic downward spiral, we need to understand her slimy tactics to success. Back in 2015, before Sniperwolf made videos for an audience under the age of 5, she actually made Call of Duty gaming videos on her Sexy Sniper channel. She started making friends in the community and eventually started dating a guy she met online. She also ends up getting sued by this guy, but I'll get into that later. Together, they created a Sniperwolf channel, and the main premise of the channel was basically,
wow, hot girl is good at video game.
Her boyfriend would record the gameplay and she would take all the credit. But not only was that helping her make a name for herself in the gaming community, she was also making a strange selection of enemies. It soon became a known fact that Sniperwolf hates women. But why would people say this about her? Meet Azra Bajrami, better known to the world as AzzyLand. But to Sniperwolf, she's enemy number one. Sniperwolf not only hates AzzyLand, but views her as a threat to her entire being. To call this situation between them a feud would feel inaccurate. Whenever AzzyLand would extend a kind hand, Sniperwolf would just slap it away. I'd compare this more to the movie Mean Girls, where in this case, Sniperwolf is the most popular girl in school, Regina George, and AzzyLand is a transfer student from Africa, Katie Heron.
So if you're from Africa, why are you white?
Oh my god, Karen, you can't just ask people why they're white.
You have the queen bee mean girl who wants all the attention for herself, and suddenly, a new girl arrives on the scene and now the eyes are on her. So what does Sniperwolf do? She starts spreading lies and rumors about the new girl who's just minding her own business. Sniperwolf wants nothing less than to ruin AzzyLand's career.
Have you ever seen this before?
No. I mean, yes, I've seen it before, but it's not mine.
You better get your story straight, Miss Heron, because I'm not messing around here.
It's not ours, it's Regina's. Yeah, she's trying to make it look like we wrote it, but really, she wrote it.
But unlike Lindsay Lohan's character in Mean Girls, AzzyLand refused to stoop down to Sniperwolf's level. Now that we've learned about her past, let's get into the fun stuff. The start of Sniperwolf's downfall began on September 29th, 2023, but it's way too soon to talk about that now. First, we need to talk about what happened almost a year before on October 26th, 2022. JackFilms, a name you're going to hear very often throughout this video, uploaded a cheeky playful video called SSSniperwolf, poking fun at Sniperwolf for making bland reaction videos and for stealing content without crediting the original creators. Then, in order to mock Sniperwolf even more, Jack then announced the creation of his own reaction channel, JacksFilms, that he made to ironically react to her content like she does to others. But even after this public call-out, nothing changed. Sniperwolf would continue stealing content without crediting anyone. But is there anything actually wrong with making reaction videos? Well, no. If her reactions are fair use and credit the original content, then I'd say she's actually helping small creators. But that's not the case. On September 29th, 2023, JackFilms dropped another video that showcased just that. In a video titled The War on Stolen Content, Jack hunts down and interviews a victim of Sniperwolf, Mikey Skates. In this interview, Jack parses through the information and exposes the long fight between Mikey and Sniperwolf. One day, Mikey discovered that Sniperwolf used his content without permission. He filed the copyright claim. Sniperwolf removed his clip from her video. Thanks to Jack and Mikey, other creators were finally now inspired to also stand up to Sniperwolf and call her out. But there was one theft that she couldn't hide from anymore. Remember AzzyLand, the girl I mentioned earlier? Well, on November 9th, 2023, YouTube channel Nerd City released an interview with AzzyLand that Sniperwolf had been fearing for years. After years of bullying and harassment, Sniperwolf was finally put on blast. In this interview with Nerd City, AzzyLand accuses Sniperwolf of harassment, intimidation, and copying her. This video showcases evidence where SniperWolf uploaded videos with strikingly similar thumbnails and titles to AzzyLand's, often a few months to a year after AzzyLand. And AzzyLand also said that SniperWolf falsely branded her as a copycat and encouraged her fans to send harassment.
What was it that crossed the line for you where it went from something that you could accept, like clearly there's this other female creator who thinks I'm cool, who's taking ideas from me, to something that started to mess with your head? Like, what was the difference for you?
Taking every idea did well, but because they had more following than me, their video would just get more views, and so people would see their video first and then assume that their video was first.
Remember to always be yourself, unless you suck. Then pretend to be somebody else. And that's on AzzyLand.
When this person started pointing fingers towards me and started bullying me and trying to bring me down.
This reminds me of the 2019 movie Joker, where the main character Arthur tries to be like people he sees on TV, like that talk show host. But the more he tries to copy them, the more he loses who he really is. This copying changes him into the Joker, a completely different person. And if you made it this far in the video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe so this channel could reach the goal of 1,000 subscribers. Thanks to the work of Jack and Mikey, more and more people were deciding to stand up to SniperWolf and put her in her place.
Shut up, intern 2!
I deserve that.
The impact of Jack's efforts may have seemed small at first, but in reality, it was like a giant spirit bomb, where he channeled the energy of all the people that SniperWolf had stolen from. There was absolutely nothing SniperWolf could do to recover from that damaging blow. So how did she respond to this attack? She decided to act like a psycho and make the situation worse. Like an insane girlfriend who won't accept the breakup, SniperWolf showed up outside Jack's home. She showed up in the middle of the night and made the genius idea to record his house and put it on Instagram for her millions of followers to see. She did eventually take it down, but the damage was already done. Jack and his wife were rightfully freaked out, and he begged YouTube to step in and punish SniperWolf for her manic episode. After days of radio silence on YouTube's end, they finally replied with her punishment. SniperWolf would lose monetization on her main channel. But none of that really mattered because this was honestly the least of her problems. There was an even worse situation happening this whole time in the background that could cause SniperWolf to lose every dollar she's ever made. If you were wondering what happened to the guy SniperWolf created her channel with, don't worry, because he's going to be the cause of her tragic downfall. As time went on, SniperWolf and her boyfriend Evan Young eventually got married. I'd call it a beautiful love story, but the truth is they were very on and off, and even got each other arrested a couple times. It's like Bonnie and Clyde, but if they hated each other. Then in 2023, shit started to go really south for them. They announced officially on Twitter that they were breaking up, and what happened after that, I'm not really surprised to see. SniperWolf found herself in a legal entanglement with her estranged husband Evan Young, and he had serious accusations of breach of contract and other financial dealings he wasn't given notice of. Basically, SniperWolf was trying to cut him out of all the money she was making. Evan exposed that SniperWolf began siphoning earnings to new channels she created, diverting funds from their joint company. And then he accused her of stealing hard drives and phones tied to Channel Red. Basically, Channel Red controls all the channels that they own, and if she takes Channel Red, then he's basically locked out of the company. But the accusations went even deeper than that. Young claimed he was the real mastermind behind the SniperWolf channel, handling tasks from scripting to editing, while SniperWolf was essentially the face of the company. Because of this lawsuit, Evan may be entitled to millions of dollars. And once it's all over, SniperWolf may lose her husband, her platform, and all the money she's ever earned.